welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm trying a different sitting today, so let's see if this works. My name is Kim, and this is my podcast all about knitting, spinning, dyeing of yarn, all of which I do right here in my home, outside of Lima, Ohio. In Lima, Ohio. That would throw everybody for a loop. Before I go any further, I do need to ask your excuses for excuse myself for the way my hair looks. I get it cut this Saturday. So, anyways. But today is August the 21st, and this is episode 129. Yay! You can find me on Ravelry as Naturally Kim's Knitting, that's our podcast group, or as NapiersKnit, which is my individual one. You can also find me on Etsy as NapiersKnits. I have a store there where I have some yarn for sale. I myself think they're lovely, but you know, that's me. You can also find me on Instagram as knittin_Kim, and on YouTube, Blogger, and WordPress as Naturally Kim's Knitting. It's always a relief when I get through all that, because you know me, as you've noticed, I interrupt my thoughts all the time. Okay, we don't have any new members this month, or this week. However, we do have some knit-alongs going on. First of all is our finished object knit-along. It is, you guys are creative, let me tell you that. All of our knit-alongs show this. Knit-along, crochet-along, whatever. All you have to do to be eligible for the finished object knit-along is to become a member of Naturally Kim's Knitting, and then under the finished object thread, put a picture of your item, and then put the pattern name, if there is one. And at the end of the month, I draw a winner. This week's winner, I don't have it with me. You know how I am. I leave it in the other room. But this month is going to be one skein of Vivacious 4-ply superwash merino wool, and it is beautiful yarn. Then another knit-along we have going on is a Tin Can Knits. Now, Tin Can Knits is a designer on Ravelry, and I think they have some lovely patterns there, free ones as well as ones that you pay for. And all you have to do for this is to finish, or just, you know what, at this point, if you just show me that you have been working on a Tin Can Knits pattern, and then put a picture of your item, finished or not, into the Tin Can Knits knit-along thread. At the end of this month, or really September 1st, I will lock that thread and I will draw a winner. And the first prize winner will be one of the paid-for patterns on, Tin Can Knits, any pattern. You just choose it. Excuse me. I moved something in the front of my dog's chair and she's worried. Let's see. So first prize for that is one pattern, okay, from Tin Can Knits. Then I have a NapiersKnit knit-along, which, as I mentioned, I have an Etsy store called NapiersKnits. And over the couple of years that I've been doing this, I have given some of the yarn away as prizes, or people have purchased them. Well, for this knit-along, just show a picture of one project, either in progress or finished, under the NapiersKnit thread on Ravelry, and if it's made out of my yarn, NapiersKnits yarn, you'll be eligible for a prize. And the first prize is going to be a skein of my yarn. Yay! Sorry, NapiersKnits yarn. Now, all the additional rules and everything are on the Ravelry thread, so just go ahead and look under one of those 3 knit-alongs and you'll get the rest of the rules. Okay, oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I did mention that in September, we're going to start a knit-along using one of Mila's Knit Corners designs. One of her mitts, whether it's fingerless or closed fingers, I don't care. But she has got beautiful, beautiful patterns. I just love her patterns. Okay, on to the what's on my needles. I don't know why I said it that way, but I did. And this is going fast today. I don't know if I'm just talking faster or what. Oh, this is not nice. I apologize. I'm going to make all of you guys yawn, aren't I? Okay. I've been able to work on my daughter's Harley sweater. In fact, the one sleeve. Now, nothing's been blocked, so everything looks, a little bit wonky. But I got the one sleeve, including the cuff, done. I've come to really enjoy that cuff. Have I not liked any? Well, okay, when I was knitting the cuff, it wasn't so much fun. But I think that's because I was almost at the end of the sleeve. This is the cable that goes down the center of the sleeve. I've started the second sleeve. Ta-da! I've made it that far. And this is the front of the sweater. And it has those nice cables along the sides. Otherwise, it's not super fancy, but you know what? I love cables, and the cables at the bottom are beautiful. I love cables, and I love doing this for my daughter. It's made out of superwash merino, and it's very soft and it's very lovely. And I'll give you a few of the details. This is from the Knit Picks Twist and Tweed book. It is still for sale in their store. I don't believe it's on sale, but I could be wrong. And like I said, it is the Harley pattern. Maybe I should be up closer. But that's the Harley pattern. And I love it. Sorry, I'll just try to inch forward because the chair I normally sit on is out of the way, and the yarn that I'm using on it is the Plymouth Select DK Merino Superwash, and the color is 1017. And you used US 5 or 3.75 millimeter needles on the whole thing. Isn't that lovely? I would love to have it done when she comes in for my son's wedding. That's my goal. I don't know if it'll happen, but I may end up still having to ship it back because they're going to be packing for themselves and 2 little kids, and the 2 little kids are in the wedding. So, and they got to have their toys and all this stuff to keep them busy. So let's see, what else? I feel like I'm Santa Claus reaching over here. I'll just bring it all here. This is the scarf. I mean, I've made quite a bit of progress. It does need blocked, as you can see, because of the pattern I'm using. I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to see about moving closer. So just a moment. Stop it. Oh, stop it. I didn't realize it started playing again. Sorry, or recording again. I was trying to get everything organized, and of course that never works smoothly. So I do have a pattern on this. It's kind of a triangle that goes from side to side. So it does need blocked because where the 2 triangles, the one's stockinette and one's purl stitches, where they meet, it does stick out a little bit. So I am going to have to block it, but that's okay. But I've made great progress on this. I am almost done with the yarn. I might still be working on it next week. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's the scarf I'm using. Caron's one of their little cupcakes yarns that my grandchildren sent me for Mother's Day. They were so sweet. So, okay. I'm not doing these in order, so looking at my show notes is really ridiculous. I have been so busy on heels. My Christmas gift socks, which is the spread your wings pattern. Sorry, I lost a couple stitches there. I finished the second heel just last night, so now I'm going to be working on the pattern clear around, but there is the pattern. Sorry. Okay. There's seat stitch on both sides of the pattern, and I don't know if you can really see the pattern, but it kind of looks like wings spreading out. And of course there's the heel. And the other one looks exactly like it because I stopped at exactly the same place. I didn't want to throw myself off by being on 2 different rows. Then my Gales Art Hawaii sock blank. You move everything and everything gets tangled, you know. That's what happened here. I haven't worked on this a whole lot. I wasn't able to go to church this last week, so I did not get a chance to work on it in church. But this is the Gales Art Hawaii print sock blank. And I've made a little progress. I was able to go outside yesterday and work a little bit on it, but I haven't gotten real far. It's just a plain stockinette stitch sock. I haven't made the heel on it yet. These are going to be for me because I always figured I splurge a little bit on the sock blanks, but I love the socks that come out of them. So that's for me. I've already talked about spread your wings, so I can put that over to the side. Then I've got my soup kitchen socks, and I haven't named the pattern. I will probably put it for sale, but if I do, it'll only be like $1 or something, because this is not a difficult pattern. Anybody could actually figure it out. But this is just made from, except I see a mistake in it. Oh, no I didn't. It's just the way the camera was showing it. This is just scrap yarn. And I like making these socks for the soup kitchen. So I've done 2 heels on the scrap yarn socks. I've done 2 heels on the spread your wings socks. And I'm not to the heel on the Gales Art sock yet. We'll be in another couple days if I get to work on it. I think that's everything that's on my needles. And I don't have any finished objects. I didn't have any out last week. You know, everything's going to get done about the same time, and I will have a billion finished objects one time. Not really, but you know. Okay, I don't believe anybody asked me any questions this week. If you did, I'm sorry. Could you resend it to me, because either I missed it or I forgot to put it in my show notes. Okay. As you know, I'm an affiliate with KnitPicks, so I like to spend a little time talking about what they have on sale. And well, they're having a clearance sale right now on a lot of interesting, beautiful yarns and some lovely books on crocheting and knitting. But their monthly sale right now is Wool of the Andes, and they have their worsted and their bulky on sale. I would have gotten some, except I'm on my yarn fast, so I'm not getting any yarn. I don't really need yarn right now, but I do love the Wool of the Andes. Let's see. Resolutions, I haven't gotten anything done, so those haven't changed. Okay, I finished reading a book, but I gave it to my husband to send to my daughter, because it's called Daily Questions for You and Your Child. It's a 3-week journal. So you, for example, I would ask my granddaughter the question, I think one of the questions in there was, who is your favorite superhero, or something like that. So you ask them that, and then a year from now it'll be the same question, but their answers may change. You know, and they have a lot of wonderful questions that it's interesting to see how the children change over the years. So it's a 3-year journal, or it could be for 3 separate children. But I loved it. I got that from Waterbrook, and I was so happy. Made my day, and I'm hoping it's going to make my daughter's. Okay, now, I've got a book review now. If you're not interested in seeing the Meg Swanson's knitting book, then you could take this time and we could say goodbye now. But if you want to see what's in this, I got this used from Amazon. So it didn't cost me very much. But I like Meg Swanson, and I love her designs. And this has 30 designs for hand knitting. And I love going on Amazon, and if I have a book that I really want to get, I see if it's in one of the used bookstores, because it doesn't matter if it's in brand new, you know, out of the sleeve condition or not, because by the time I look at it, it won't look that way. So they start off with techniques, and a little bit about Meg Swanson. And then they have sweaters. Lots of sweaters. This is called the Box the Compass Yoke Sweater. Sorry. You know, once again, I'm going to go through this and I'm going to say, oh, I love this, and it's true. I like almost everything that's in this book. But that's okay because I have so many patterns that I love that if there's a couple in here I don't like, it doesn't matter. They have another one called Aspen Yoke Sweater, but I want to show you that design. Isn't that beautiful? There's finished sweater, so as you can see, you can make it for yourself or a loved one, hubby or whatever. I think that is gorgeous. Like I said, I see myself making lots of sweaters. If not for myself, for somebody else. Now this took me a minute to warm up to, but I really kind of do. It's called Russian Prime. I really kind of like that now. At first I thought it was too busy, but as you look at it, you can see some of the pattern is bolder than the rest of it, and I really think that's cool. So it gives me, I've gotten lots of ideas. Some of these things I will, I would use like they are in the book, and some I could use as the basis for sweaters that I want to make. The Ferroes sweater, something like that. I like that too. Honestly, there are a couple in here I don't like, or I can do without. I like this Turkish maple and Turkish ocean pullover. Wow! Wow! And of course, anything that says Celtic, I like. This is called the Celtic Swirl. It's just a boxy sweater, but who cares if it's boxy with all the beautiful, beautiful color work in there. If it has Celtic in it, though, I'm more than likely going to like it. The lupine cardigan. Now, I'm not crazy about lupine, but I do like, lupine cardigans, but I do like the pattern. And I'm thinking maybe that the design could be used in something else. So we shall see. Fair Isle, something I've not done a whole lot of, but I really would like to. And her Fair Isle cardigan is on the cover. And the fact that it's a cardigan, once again, I probably would not make it, but I could use the design somewhere else, like I said before. This one's different. I'd have to think. I could possibly make this one. It is a cardigan, but the buttons aren't buttons. This is a medallion cardigan. They almost look like toggles, but not quite. Interesting. I'd have to make this one only because the name of it is the Ram's Horn cardigan, but it would be for my husband. Because, you know, or it could be my son, or my son-in-law for that matter. I don't know how many sweaters he wears, though. Then, I love saddle sleeves. These are two jackets that have saddle sleeves. Now, if you're not familiar with saddle sleeves are, it's a pattern that starts at the shoulder, and in this case, it goes all the way down the arm. And these are just simple tie sweaters. Yeah, they don't have zippers or anything. They just cross over the front and tie with a belt. And I've done saddle horns before, and in fact, that's my favorite kind of sweater to make. So, Bavarian Twist saddle sleeved cardigan. Now, if you can see on this, there's a pattern that starts up at the neckline and it goes all the way down the arm. In fact, the sweater I'm working on now is kind of like that. So, that's the Bavarian Twist. I really kind of like this too. It's a little bit out there. This is called Weeping Sun. I'm going to take this dust jacket off. Weeping Sun. Get that name right. Yeah. Weeping Sun. And then on the back is Weeping Moon. I like it. Oh, they show it in red and black too. That would be gorgeous. The pattern is quite extensive. 6 or 8 pages of pattern. I thought there were sweaters in here. I didn't. Well, because of the cardigans, some of those I probably wouldn't make, but I might still use the patterns in something else. Phoenix pullover. Look at that. I don't know if you can see the pattern. Oh, that is so lovely. I thought that. Then they have a Phoenix cardigan too. You know, instead of putting buttons on, which is what I don't like. I don't like button bands and the buttons. I wouldn't have to put buttons on. Okay, here's the one. I'm not a big fan of knit vests. And here's the Mesa Verde vest. It's interesting. If I wore more vests, possibly, then this is the, I think it says Mimbres vest. Don't want to show it too long because there are, you know, little some descriptions on there. The Navajo vest, it was one of the other vests on that page, and that's the pattern that you find on the Navajo. And once again, I do like the patterns. I'm just not crazy about vests. Then they have stockings with form-fitted arches. And let me show you the 4 patterns they have. I just love them. I don't think I have enough lifetime to knit all the socks that I want to knit. So other than the vests and a couple of cardigans, but if I made them without buttons on the front, I would probably like them. So other than that, Meg Swanson's knitting book, 30 designs for hand knitting. So lovely. And like I said, I got it used on Amazon. That's how I've gotten most of my craft books over the years. Like I said, if I find one that I think I might like, if I'm not sure if I'll like it, get it for 99 cents or $1 used on Amazon. You still have to pay the shipping, which is about $3 or $4, but that beats paying I can't tell how much this was, but I know it was more than that. Brand new, and then finding out I didn't like half the patterns. So, anyways, I think that's it for my podcast today. It's about 25 minutes. That's not bad. Sorry about the changing of cameras. Camera positions. I just wasn't happy with sitting back there after I got started. Anyways, I hope all of you guys have a great week. I'm going to get my hair cut, so next week when you see me, my hair's going to be short again. I put it off because, as you know, my son's getting married at the end of September. September 22nd, actually. And I thought about getting it cut a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't going to work out time-wise for the wedding, because I don't want it to look brand new cut, but I want it to look nice for the wedding. So I decided I would wait until this week, and hopefully by getting it cut short, it will grow out to a perfect length by the wedding. I like it really short, but you know, not everybody likes it that way. Excuse me. Anyways, I want to thank you, all of you, for watching today. I appreciate it. I feel like I'm not quite here today. Maybe it's the weather because it's rather rainy and everything. But I hope all of you have a wonderful week. I hope that you don't have any mistakes in any of your projects, but if you do, I hope they're little ones that can be fixed very easily. I love each and every one of you. Big hugs, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.